is Joy here, and welcome back to my channel. Today is Friday, which means it is a Frozen Focus Friday. I am bringing the series back. Every Friday, I'm going to be helping you guys build your personal brand, help you with your career, and all of those cool things. So make sure you are subscribed to my channel with a thumbs up and a little bell button so that you can come back every Friday for all of those cool videos. So today we are talking all about my internship experience at Google over the summer, this previous summer. So I'm going to be breaking down everything from a little brief overview of how I got the internship. There is a full video on how I got my internship at Google, as well as how I got my previous internships. So I'll have them up in the cards for you guys to go watch if you're more interested in how I got the internship. And this is going to be more about my experience, so things like orientation, all the perks, how often we got paid, what things were covered, all of that good stuff. So let's get into it. So the first topic I want to talk about is getting the job. So I do have a full video, like I said, on how I got an internship at Google, but I'm just going to talk more about the experience. Was it easy? Was it, difficult? All of that stuff. So I thought that the experience getting the internship at Google, as far as talking with the recruiters and submitting the application, was pretty straightforward. The application actually doesn't ask you for a crazy amount of things. You really just need your resume and cover letter and stuff like that. Very simple for people applying to the Google Bold internship, which is their business roles. I did apply to their Bold internship because I am a public relations major here at USC, so that is what fit me. And I had a really good experience meeting someone from Google who was a USC alum who came to my campus and kind of talked about what opportunities are available for people who aren't looking for technical roles. So she was great. She was an employee. She wasn't a recruiter. So all she could really offer was advice, not really anything that would influence my application. So I had a good experience with interviews as well. I actually was really excited for the interviews just to talk to people who worked at Google. I thought that was just really cool to see what they were doing in their work. I felt like they were more like conversations and coming to the table with questions. You don't really know who they are before you do the interviews. There's 2 rounds of video interviews, so you don't know who they are, and you just have to kind of prepare as much as you can with resources you find on the internet and a guide that they give you on how to prepare for Google internships, internship interviews, and you go from there. So I ended up getting placed in the Associate Product Marketing Manager internship role. You actually get placed into your role. You don't get to choose your role, and they place you based on your experience, on your resume, on your interests, and all that good stuff. And I really enjoyed my placement. The APMM experience is different for every intern because every intern gets placed on a different product team. So there are so many different Google products. I'll kind of list some on the screen, like YouTube, Google Maps, Gmail. The list goes on. There's so many different Google products. So I actually worked on the Google News Initiative team, which is a team that helps journalists get equipped with the resources and technology they need to succeed in the media realm. And the specific product that I was working on was called AMP, which is Accelerated Mobile Pages. And I did a bunch of different things. Most you can't really reveal about the specific things you did because you do sign non-disclosures, but those were the things that I worked on. I was able to do a couple of different things in marketing, like experiential marketing, product marketing. So I really enjoyed that experience of getting my hands in a couple of different areas, and I'll expand on that after we touch on a couple more things. So that is the experience getting my placement and getting the internship at Google. The great thing about getting to your internship is that you can be in a variety of locations. I was actually placed in the Bay Area at first, and then probably 2 months before I started my internship, there was an opening in the New York office for interns. So I took one of the 6 roles that were in the New York office for marketing interns. So there were 6 business interns in the New York office. Everybody else was in the Bay Area, Austin. I think there's some in Ann Arbor, but that is basically where I got placed for the summer. So before the internship even starts, you have to think about, where you're going to live, how you're going to get there. And Google does a great job with offering interns a relocation/housing stipend that helped me pay for my housing over the summer. This is great. I also was able to get a relocation stipend with my previous internship at NBC News. So always look for internships and companies that are paying for you to live in the place that they're making you move to. While it's not common, there are companies out there that do it, especially when it comes to tech. So after you get your housing, this is before you start the internship once again. The week before your internship, you have orientation, and that is at the HQ in the Bay Area. So Google actually has 11 Bay Area offices, I think. And when I say Bay Area, I'm just talking about Silicon Valley, kind of the San Francisco area in California. So the Google HQ is in Mountain View, California. And during orientation, I got to visit 3 of the offices. I got to visit Mountain View, Sunnyvale, and the San Francisco office. So I got to see 3 offices the couple of days that I was there for orientation. Basically, all the interns come and you basically get onboarded to all the Google systems. You get your laptop, and you really just learn what it's like to be a successful intern, and they really want to set you up for success. And you learn about the process, the full roadmap of the summer, and they tell you ahead of time what the roadmap looks like if you want to get a full-time job at Google and the different things that happen throughout the summer. And I'll just go through those right now. You get a midpoint evaluation halfway through your internship, where you get feedback from your manager to see if you're on track to get converted to a full-time role. And you also have a final evaluation, and the APMM internship specifically had a exit interview. So some bold interns had to just get 3 feedback providers, which was their manager and 2 other people. And then APMM interns had to get 2, which was their manager and another person from their team. So orientation was basically a ton of information. It was great. They put you in a hotel. I got a rental car. I was able to go around easily. And that was a great first impression of the company. You get to eat food, all of that good stuff. So after orientation, I flew to New York because that's where my office was and that's where my team was. So I got to New York, got to meet my team, got to meet my manager, and get to see what the New York office was like compared to the Bay Area offices. The New York office is amazing. I love it so much. The food there is so good. They always have really cool events. They also had just a ton of cool spaces to get your work done. Like the outside patio during the summer is really nice. And it's just really a really great place to be productive. So let me talk about a typical day at Google during my internship. My manager was really great at making sure that I was able to do projects I was interested in, that I was able to work independently, but also be really comfortable going to him and other people on the team for help. So a typical day would be coming into the office, getting breakfast at one of the restaurants, then heading to my desk area, checking some emails, and going to team meetings. Most team meetings are, video chat because people are sitting all over the world. So you might have someone who's in the Bay Area, you might have someone who's in London, and you're all on the same meeting via video chat. So those are like big group meetings. Then I would have pencil time in for getting work done, and I would also schedule one-on-one meetings with people on my team to understand more about my final project that I worked on the whole summer. And then there's different meetings that we would have with stakeholders in our projects. And that was basically a typical day. I eat lunch. Forgot about that. Eat lunch, which is provided at one of the restaurants or cafes. and I would usually stay until 6 so I could eat dinner before I went home. So I would eat 3 meals, eat snacks all day, and get work done. I would work outside sometimes, work inside at my desk, all around. It's really up to you where you want to work, which was a really awesome for me, because I do a lot of I work really productive independently, so it was great to be able to be accommodated in the working style that I work best in. So saying that, that's like a typical day, but there's always different things going on at Google. They have cooking classes for employees. All these things are free that I'm listing. They have the gym. You can get massages. You can go to different events. I went to a book signing. They have different types of big events for the whole company. So for Pride, they had tons of Pride Month events that you could go to that were usually at the end of work on like a Friday. So those were always really fun to do. The possibilities are endless. They do so many cool things that are complimentary to employees, which I really enjoyed. Another great part about the internship was I actually was able to travel on the company dollar for different projects. So I actually went back to the Bay Area once over the summer, and then I went to Pittsburgh for a team offsite. And an offsite is basically when a executive invites their whole team under them to one location, and it's kind of like a mini conference of just people in the company, and you learn about what's going on, you learn about new things that are coming about, and you get leadership training and all that cool stuff. And we also got to hear about how Google is impacting Pittsburgh, and hearing from different people in the community outside of Google with what they're working on, how they think tech is impacting them. So it was a really good time in Pittsburgh, and we got to do different things in the city as well. That was a really fun time. We did like the Andy Warhol Museum, we did a boat cruise. Like, I really enjoyed that offsite. So one of the, I'm nearing the end, but there are a few other things I want to touch on. One is like internship and the intern development. So outside of, your day-to-day getting work done, the interns do meet and do different events to help, keep the interns social, help keep them, in the loop. So you're always getting different emails about different things. You can participate with just other interns, different things where you go out of office and do things together. So I think any company that has an internship program needs to do things for the interns, and Google does a great job with that. So I mentioned that there was a final project. So basically you get a project or a couple of projects to work on throughout your whole internship. And mine actually lasted the whole summer, which was an 11-week internship. And you basically work with your team and you work with people who are familiar with the topic to complete the project. And at the end of my internship, I actually presented to 13 people on my team. I did like a 1-hour presentation, which was crazy. But that was just the final project. It differs per intern. So that is my internship experience at Google. Let me know if you have any questions below. Just to rattle off some random details, you get paid every 2 weeks. You get free food, and you get your housing covered, because I know a lot of people ask about that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Bye. Make sure you subscribe, thumbs up this channel, and I will be doing a video on my journey to full-time after graduation, because I am working at Google. So look out for that one, the next Frozen Focus Friday.